say that the last couple of weeks, the last 48 hours is an area we can be better at. Important that we finish it the right way. First road game, so all the little things are certainly going to matter. Communication is going to be really critical, in particular on the offensive side of the ball. So things that we're working and need to be ready for when we get there. Don't have an update on the quarterback status right now. Joe's gotten some work here during the course of the week. We'll find out more tomorrow with him, but some of the other guys that maybe you didn't see last week, anticipate most of those guys being able to play, though, when we get down to Gainesville.
Coach, what's Juwan Mitchell's status for Saturday? Will he be back?
He's been able to be with us out on the grass a little bit this week. We'll see where he's at when we get through tomorrow and then be able to determine where he's going to be.
Josh, Florida's obviously really good in press man coverage, very physical. How are your guys, your receivers in that against that kind of coverage?
Long, athletic. You got to do a great job at the line of scrimmage. You got to be able to change up, your press releases on them. If you give them the same look every single time, they're going to get hands on you and be able to keep you locked on at the line of scrimmage. At the end of the day, because of what they're doing, you're going to have to make some one-on-one plays, and I think our guys are prepared for that, and we got to go execute at a really high level.
Have you felt like your guys have done a good job against that coverage you've seen this year so far?
Yeah, I feel like we have an opportunity to go compete and make plays and give those guys the tools to go win in some of those one-on-one situations.
Coach, you guys spoke yesterday about Florida's option. What have you seen in terms of progression with that this week in your defense and just how they're reacting to that?
At the end of the day, it's different forms of it, whether it's power read, whether it's speed option. You got to have a dive player, quarterback player, and if there's a pitch player involved in it, you better have somebody on the pitch too. It's going to force you to play responsibilities. It's going to force you to read and react to things the right way, and then you got to tackle extremely well in space. In particular, their running backs and their quarterbacks have the ability to make you miss or to run through a tackle, and you got to do a great job in space.
Patrick and Rob.
Coach, obviously you guys were preparing most of the offseason for Cooper to be your center. How has Jerome done stepping in there with the tempo?
Jerome's done a really good job. Communication-wise, been really pretty seamless in the transition from him going over to guard to center. Because he's your starting guard, the number of actual center reps is not as high as if he was just the two center when he stepped in. Pleased with a lot of what he's done. Anticipate Coop being back with us and Jerome being able to slide over.
Coach, do you feel like you have a number one receiver on this team, and do you care in your philosophy? Is it okay if it's by committee?
I'd like to have three guys that we feel are number one, or four or five. We have great trust in the guys that are out there competing. Cedric's done a really good job at times. Javante, Bayless has played both outside and inside. All those guys are going to have to be able to make plays.
Just what have you seen from the defensive line under Rodney since the spring, and just how comforting is it for you to look across the field and see that guy with that resume coaching your D-line?
Rodney does a great job on and off the field for us. He's changed the culture inside of that room. The style of how we play is subtly different than what they were used to a year ago. Fundamentals and techniques, those guys have continued to grow. He's a great teacher, cares about his player, gets great investment and buy-in from him because he does care about him, and his resume speaks for itself. He's a great resource for all of us, but me in particular. His experience here in this league, on the field and in recruiting and off the field as well.
Team in the very back.
Coach, it's been a while since these guys have went on the road in a really wild atmosphere. Obviously, the Swamp is a pretty wild atmosphere. What have you done this week to kind of prepare those guys for that noise?
You talk about the environment, but then you try to create and simulate the issues that it causes as far as communication, in particular on offense because of the crowd and then being in the football game at that time. And for us, we got to do a great job seeing, recognizing, communicating, and being clean as far as pre-snap penalties. So it's a big emphasis from us all week long.
When you're not sure who the quarterback is going to be on the opponent and how they're going to use multiple quarterbacks. How much extra work does that add in preparation for a game when there's that uncertainty?
I mean, if you're looking at them and their ability to play multiple guys, there's things that both of them, are comfortable with that they use schematically. I think each of them are going to be subtly different in the nuances of what they like in particular in the pass game. So if it's two contrasting styles, then you got to be ready for both of them. And in some ways you prepare not different call sheet, but primary calls for each of those guys.
Anything else? Oh, we'll go two more in the back.
How important will it be to establish the run game? You guys didn't really get a good push up there against Tennessee Tech in the last one.
It would be important that you stay out of third and longs in this football game. A part of that is absolutely being extremely efficient in the run game. Part of it's being efficient in your throw game too, to stay out of those long yardage situations.
Josh, has there been any thought into playing more than one quarterback in a game?
No, right now we're not leaning that way.
Josh, what do you think has made you so good against the run this season and the challenges that Florida presents with this running game?
Starts with gap integrity, first of all. First, second, and third levels all being in sync. That eliminates big plays. The ability for your front seven to change and distort the line of scrimmage. Those are absolutely critical, and you've seen certain personnel do a great job of that throughout the course of the first 3 weeks.
Florida's run game?
Really good. They're big, strong, physical up front. They, with the quarterback run game, they have the ability to play 11 on 11 and make the numbers right. You got to be disciplined with, their power read, their speed option. I mean, all of those ways that they force you to have a dive quarterback and pitch play.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, guys. Have a great day.